Alright guys, hello and welcome to another cast of some Alchemy League. We got two sets today, one at the very high level and one at kind of a lower level. And I'm looking forward to casting both of them. As always, all of the people in Alchemy League are great people, and you deserve to see them on your. They deserve to be seen on TV more often, and you deserve the chance to get to see them as well. So we're going to do our best here to feature the players. I have sharing on my screen here the players that we're going to look at today. The first two players, it's going to be Flying Mouse versus Jasuni. Flying Mouse is a German player. We actually met him through Rome at War. He came over while we were featuring lots of Rome at War streams and content and such. And so that's how we met him. He is around 1400. And then Jasuni is around 1000 ELO. He does not play 1v1s very much, but he scripts maps for the community, so we know him pretty well. We've worked with him, and he's a good guy, so we let him play, even though he doesn't have enough games. So it's a pretty steep disadvantage here for Jasuni. I believe that Jasuni has 5% handicap in this set, and he's going to need it. We'll know once we get into the game. I don't know if it'll be enough. It feels like the handicap is pretty light this season, but you can't really mess with that kind of stuff too much, because even though it might help some players, other players might get offended by it, so you have to be very careful. And you have to plan that out pretty well in advance. So we really appreciate Jasuni sticking around despite the meager handicap helpings that we've got here. We really appreciate that he has fun on the maps, even if he's up against some pretty tough players. So we'll talk about the other opponents in the purple a little bit later. So Jasuni is an American player. He's from the West Coast, and Flying Mouse is a German player. He's from European time. Let's take a look at their civilization draft and their map draft, but not in that order. In the other order, in fact. So this is their map draft. The map of the round is Columbia by Tech Chariot. And then Jasuni and Flying Mouse took turns banning maps until only one remained, and that was Denali by Tech Chariot. So they're going to play on two maps of my creation today, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. Let's take a look at the bans. The only big thing that I wanted to point out here that I noticed is Flying Mouse banning Saracens first. He knows of Jasuni's Saracen strategy, and he does not want to have to deal with it, so he bans them. Jasuni with some more some bands that are more consistent with other sets we've seen for the Alaska maps that are featured in Alchemy League Season 4, banning Mongols because of the large amount of hunted meat, Georgians because of the large number of hills and defenses, and Vikings, which are an all-around good economy civilization. So these ones I don't really understand too much from Flying Mouse, but Jasuni is mostly known for his Saracen strategy. So the first one I understand greatly. So let's get into the game. Here we go. Disable the fog of war, and we'll hit start, and the narration will begin. Zoom in. So in the gray on the left-hand side of the map, we have Jasuni playing as the Italians, and in the blue on the right-hand side of the map, we have Flying Mouse playing as the Malay. Now, one of the disadvantages about this map is that there are not a lot of places to start players, although maybe I could have taken a little bit more time to randomize this, try to get it so the players would spawn up here and such. But there is some randomness already. These particular players look like they are below average, I would say. In other words, I think the average is about up here. These guys are a little bit closer to the bar. So let's talk about the structure of this map. Actually, there isn't a lot of space for randomness of players. That much we've established so far. But what I mean to say is that we've got this glacier here, and we've got a confluence of two glaciers around this outcropping, and then it flows down, and then it's actually a retreating glacier. It melts and it trickles through this flat little basin here and into this glacial lake, which then empties out into the ocean. So there's fish in the ocean, but there's no fish in the glacial lake, so there's actually not as much fish as it may look. And then the terminal moraine of this glacier is featured here, and that is full of all of these different gold piles. They have a random amount of gold to them. Sometimes it's better to go for the relics, sometimes it's better to go for the gold on the glaciers. Jasuni and Flying Mouse are going for the sheep, though. Jasuni looking for it, but Flying Mouse getting there first. He's making off with a bunch of sheep. Jasuni trying to intercept. He is going to capture one sheep and send it back home. Flying Mouse taking this other sheep. Maybe Jasuni can intercept that one as well. So lots of sheep out here lost on the ice. Maybe actually too many sheep. I don't know. It's something I have to think about. It's hard to say, really. You know, we're kind of designing new maps from scratch, and it's really hard to predict exactly what you need to do for it, unless you're a super skilled player, which I am not. I'm only around around 1300 probably on the ranked DE ladder. So Flying Mouse is building up his base here. He's got a nice little lumber camp in the back. The wood is always better uphill than it is downhill. But you can come downhill to dock. I mean, you have to come downhill. Jasuni's already chopping some wood here as the Italians. Let's take a look at his stone. We see that Jasuni has some extra stone, so he indeed has the handicap. This is an unloomed villager. He needs to be very careful. This villager is unloomed. It does not have as much of an ability to defend itself. If Flying Mouse sees this villager, it will be a dead villager. Even though the handicap gives it an extra point of health, that is not enough. Jasuni. Oh no. Maybe he'll get away. Oh no, he's not going to get away. Flying Mouse will definitely see that. He'll attack Jasuni's villager, and then Jasuni will be down a villager. So this is not something that handicap can compensate for. This is just inexperience here. Underestimating his opponent. Going out for that greedy dock. Hopefully Jasuni learns something from that. If he watches the recording. Either this presentation of it, or maybe he just was like, oh shoot, you know, I only got 22% of my dock up because I sent a weak villager, an unloomed villager, halfway across the map to build it. Lots of berries underneath the town center. It looks like still Jasuni has gotten a respectable amount of sheep. Oh, what am I talking about? Flying Mouse was the one that was trying to intercept all the sheep. Jasuni doing a good job of getting the sheep. Get my players mixed up all the time. Just like I get my talk all mixed up. So Flying Mouse making a house here. The thing about the Malay is if we take a look at them, actually, their docks, one of the cool things that I like about them is their docks have extra vision. So you get a little bit more warning in case, and here he comes to do it again, but this time he has Loom. So it's a little bit safer now. He knows he's surrounded. Oh boy. Flying Mouse wants to get the villager and the scout here. Jasuni sending his own scout to deal with Flying Mouse's scout. And Jasuni's gonna, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, I would just kind of run away and try to micro. Okay, Jasuni has decent control over that situation, but he's got to keep his scout nearby. He really wants this dock to get up. Italians have a lot of water bonuses. So do Malay. But probably Malay have fewer bonuses on water than Italians. Italians are pretty awesome. So let's see, do both scouts go down? They do. Jasuni fights off the villager, and he is going to get his dock up. So they trade scouts. This is Flying Mouse's perspective. This is what he knows of the map. And Jasuni has not scouted his opponent yet, which is unfortunate. But he has gotten his dock up. He's taking a little bit of gold. And I'm curious of what Jasuni is going to do. He does not quite have the resources to click up. Flying Mouse is not clicked up either, although we could check Flying Mouse to see if he's clicked up yet. Flying Mouse will advance to the feudal age faster. That's an advantage of the Malay that can affect their water and galley play. But usually what happens is they end up going up later on more villagers. So it kind of screws with the advancements time. They're kind of a weird civilization, but it's a powerful bonus advancing to the next age if you can manage it correctly. So look at how quick that's going. Flying Mouse on his way up. Let's see if Jasuni's clicked. Jasuni has actually already clicked. So, although I think actually Jasuni clicked first, too. So, although Flying Mouse will get up to the feudal age first because he advances quicker, Jasuni is still going to get up. And it'll be in a reasonable time frame. He's going to build 3 fishing ships, and Flying Mouse has 2. and their docks are basically right next to each other. The better fishing is sort of in the center of the bar here. You can dock out here, but there's like 2 fish. You know, if you build a dock right here, you could potentially get 4 fish all within a 20 tile radius. So you definitely want to try to dock more toward the middle, but it's also riskier. Because more toward the middle means more toward your opponent. Now, Flying Mouse has built a barracks, and this is a pretty forward barracks. Flying Mouse intent on taking this deer, and I'm wondering if Flying Mouse is going to make anything from this barracks, or if this barracks is just a prerequisite for an archery range, and he's building it that far forward to make Jasuni think that he's going military or some kind of barracks unit. Okay, he's made a spearman, but he's pop-capped, actually, and he's also made no ships. Alright, he's making a fire galley now. Jasuni has reached the feudal age. I don't know if Jasuni is going to make a ship. I would assume that Jasuni will make a fire ship as well. He is, but it's going to take him some time to get it out. So Flying Mouse definitely has an advantage here. Jasuni needs to run with his fishing ships, and that's what he's going to do. So Jasuni fleeing with the fishing ships. He's going to try to get his fire galley out and then sink Flying Mouse's fishing ships. And Jasuni could actually play Ring Around the Rosie. That's what I would do. I would just come up here and then come around. And that's kind of what Jasuni is doing. Like, we can see that he's got this fishing ship over here. It's also could be that Jasuni just wants to explore with the fishing ship and see what's going... No, he just came up here. He loses one fishing ship, and Jasuni's got his fire ship out now. And he's building another one. Let's see if Flying Mouse is building another fire ship to match Jasuni's quantity. He is not. Flying Mouse is preferring... Looks like he prefers land military. He's got 2 militia, and he's got a spearman moving in. I don't see any other buildings for Flying Mouse. He has 3 on gold. I'm wondering if Flying... Oh, yeah, here's a market. So Flying Mouse is probably going to do a fast castle, or at least attempt one. Seems like that's what he wants. He wants like a 2 militia fast castle type build. That's how he's read the map. That's what he wants to do. He's going to come here, but Flying Mouse actually has no knowledge of Jasuni's base. He doesn't know where his lumber camp is. He could probably assume that it's up here somewhere, but he takes a little bit of free damage from the town center. He finds the lumber camp, and he finds one of Jasuni's stones. You can see that Jasuni is gathering resources, and he has done the man-at-arms upgrade, Flying Mouse has. So I'm not really sure what the market's all about. Okay, I guess he's changed his mind. He's like, alright, I don't really have enough resources to go fast castle. Or maybe he built the market just to help him manage his economy better. But he's building an archery range now. Jasuni choosing not to fight these man-at-arms. He instead relocates his villagers. So if we see Jasuni's villagers here... Oh, he's got to fight this wolf. A little bit close here. Jasuni is trying to expand his economy out, but the wolves and the bears are giving him some trouble. Jasuni's going to build a mill here, and he's going to relocate these villagers. Now, he needs to be careful of this bear. If left unchecked, this bear could kill a lot of stuff. So Jasuni's going to... What's he doing? Is he going to lure these man-at-arms to fight the bear? That would be hilarious, actually, if somebody did that, but I don't think that's what he's going to do. So he needs to be very careful of this bear. This bear will attack if you get too close. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. 1 villager goes down. 2 villagers go down. The bear has been more effective than the man-at-arms so far. Jasuni sees it, and it is an opportunity to get a lot of food here, but he's got to kill it. Unfortunately for Jasuni, Flying Mouse knows about this bear carcass now, and you can bet that Flying Mouse is going to come back up this way. Meanwhile, Jasuni's sending a bunch of villagers. I'm not sure what this is exactly. If he's going to try to just... He should, at this point, he should just fight this. He should just fight. If he's sending his whole economy that way, he should just fight it. Oh! Flying Mouse is on his way up to the Castle Age. Let's take a look at Jasuni. Also headed up to the Castle Age. Remember that Jasuni's villagers are a little bit mightier. And Jasuni has made an archer here. This man-at-arms is trying to pick off this last villager here. Alright, he gets him. Jasuni's lost, I think, 3 villagers so far. Let's take a look at the water here. Flying Mouse making a return. He's got 2 fire galleys. He's chasing Jasuni's fishing ship. Jasuni's very busy with all of this violence in the back of his base and messy eating. So he's going to harvest this bear, and I think that Jasuni should make a stable and throw down some knights. He doesn't have enough on wood for it, unfortunately, for Jasuni. Flying Mouse building some forward buildings. He's building a barracks forward, and he's building an archery range forward. I'm wondering why Flying Mouse seems to think that he needs so many barracks. Is he going to go Condotieros? I don't think so, because Condotieros are an Imperial Age unit. He's probably going to do some kind of longsword and siege weapon rush, which I love. This is going to be awesome. I really like it when the players use that strategy. There's a lot of resources in kind of a limited area here, and especially this is kind of a spear point, right? There's not a lot of other places that Jasuni can go. I guess he can build a town center back here. There's some pretty lovely wood lines. Flying Mouse sending a man-at-arms back this way. Gonna look and try to pick off a fight with a villager. It's now a long swordsman, and Jasuni just being plagued by this. Where are his archers? There they are. Alright, he redeploys them to kill this long swordsman. And the long swordsman, unfortunately for the long swordsman, it targets the healthy archer first. But he does get the archer kill. I think Jasuni is going to finish off this long swordsman, though. Maybe not. There's long swords in Jasuni's economy. And there are scorpions here getting ready to advance. I find the lack of walls disturbing. I mean, this wouldn't have been too bad to stone wall off, right? You know, 2 tiles here, 4 tiles here, 4 tiles here, and like 6 to 8 tiles there, and no problems if he were. So let's see what Jasuni is doing with these villagers up here. He is building a town center. I like this town center. He's got a wolf chasing him, but that's nothing he can't take care of. He's got loom. So this town center will be very helpful. Jasuni has garrisoned his starting town center. Lots of arrows, and Flying Mouse is preparing a ram. The ram has something in it, probably some long swords. They will be difficult to deal with. Jasuni's sending some villagers to batter down that ram. The long swords drop out to defend the ram. The town center will shoot the long swords. Jasuni is definitely under a lot of pressure here. Villagers coming back to keep shanking the ram. The good news for Jasuni is that he's got a town center on some wood. Town center is firing some arrows at the long swords, but there are too many. The villagers are going to kill the ram, though, and that means they can all hop back in the town center to safety. He may wish to repair this town center if he has the resources. Flying Mouse spending a lot of resources trying to kill Jasuni, and it's working so far. Jasuni's taken a lot of damage. The result of their naval battle is that Flying Mouse has exactly 1 fishing ship gathering fish, which is kind of funny. All of that and just 1 fishing ship. Actually, it wasn't too huge of an investment. Flying Mouse is 1 town center all in. He's got a ton of villagers on gold. He's come over here and he's killed this bear, and he's gonna mill this bear and take some berries, and he's got a bunch on wood. So Flying Mouse is 1 town center all in, which I really appreciate. If Flying Mouse were doing this with like 3 town centers and it was trivial, I would feel bad, but this is an all-in push from Flying Mouse. So there's not really any shame in Jasuni taking as much damage as he is. Flying Mouse is putting everything he has into trying to kill Jasuni as fast as possible. Whereas Jasuni is actually on more town centers than Flying Mouse. Now, whether or not Jasuni is building from all of them is a question, probably not. He only has 8 on food, and he's got a bunch of idols. He's got to send some villagers back to work. That's kind of the hardest part about being under this much pressure, is having idle villagers everywhere. He's left these villagers in the town center so that they can shoot some arrows. I think he should try to repair this town center. He ejects the villagers to get ahead of those rams, shanking them, and now he's got to pull back and try to get some more arrows. I think the 2 ram push is going to do it. There's enough scorpions here backing up some villagers, and these are a lot of weak villagers. Jasuni can't fight with those anymore. He's made a crossbowman to help him kill the... does the crossbowman have any range upgrades? He does. He's got Bodkin, actually. So that's not too shabby. Jasuni continuing to make villagers, though. Let's take a look and see. He's got 30 villagers, and... yeah, Jasuni with 30 villagers and Flying Mouse with 52. So even though Flying Mouse is on 1 town center and is all in, Flying Mouse can continuously make from this town center, and he's not losing villagers or being pressured. He doesn't have town center idle time, whereas Jasuni is over here fighting for his life. A lot of villagers going down to Scorpion Arrow Fire. Jasuni with 22 villagers remaining. I don't think that this town center can stay up for much longer. Town center goes down. Villagers attempting to flee, but they will not escape. Jasuni left with how many villagers? 14 to Flying Mouse's 53. Yeah, that's pretty tough. I mean, he might be able to mount a little bit of a defense. What's he doing? Oh, he's going to go for a castle. I don't know if the castle will get up in time. There it is, though. He's building it. So now Flying Mouse would have to come all the way around here, which I suppose he could do to get after the town center. But this castle could be a good way of securing this area. It also secures some of the stone down here, and it secures some of this wood up here. Is the castle in the best location? Maybe, maybe not. But it's a decent castle. Here come the rams. So Jasuni will have castles defending now. And I like how the castle shot the bear. Oops. Poor Jasuni. Now he can't take from the bear, which is kind of unfortunate. The castle's auto-shooting the bears. That was actually not intended. But now, what's Flying Mouse going to do now? He's probably going to go around. That's what I would do if I were him. I would just go around. Jasuni's still trying, though. Still fighting. Got big respect for that. He's going to come back here and take these berries. Flying Mouse, if he wanted to be annoying, could camp a mangonel right here. A mangonel or scorpion and force Jasuni to build a lumber camp back this way. But Jasuni is surviving. He has no access to gold, though, which is unfortunate. Flying Mouse building a castle instead. Let's see if Flying Mouse is close to clicking up to the next stage. I think he is. And that's why he's building the castle, is so that he'll have the buildings he needs. Yeah, I think Flying Mouse could click up to the next stage relatively soon if he wanted to. And he could get there quickly, too, because of Melee. He's coming over here to collect from this mining camp. Take some of this Moraine gold here. It's got some monks working on some conversions. Some Woolaloo action. Jasuni with one villager remaining will go down to the Scorpions. And yeah, Flying Mouse is going to come around. He's going to move around, boys. Take him a little while to get around. He's also going to take this gold. And I think he's definitely considering Imperial Age. He's got 64 villagers. Jasuni has 21. I think these rams are actually getting a hill advantage on the town center, which is pretty devastating. Jasuni trying to fight off the rams, but there are longswords and scorpions backing them. Many villagers going down. Jasuni with 16 villagers remaining as this town center crumbles. He's forced to build a market here. And he'll probably build another town center up this way. At least that's, if I were still fighting, that's what I would do. Jasuni also gathering from this bear. So the market allows him to sell some wood, and then he's buying some stone. And then he'll put a town center, yep, right there. So now what does Flying Mouse do? Well, Flying Mouse probably clicks up to the Imperial Age. Yeah, he's already clicked up. He's about 2/3 of the way there. And then he'll be making trebuchets. How many town centers does Flying Mouse have? 1. Flying Mouse loves his one town center plays. He's gonna, if this is the case, if Flying Mouse likes one town center plays, he's gonna love Denali. Because Denali, it's like you can't even really build another town center. I guess you kind of can, but it's very unwieldy. It's better just to go all in. There's so few resources on that map. It's kind of a scary map, actually. I think that's why it hasn't been played as much. Jasuni seeing the Imperial Agent calls the GG Flying Mouse with a decisive victory, but he was also heavily favored to win. So, again, cheers to Jasuni for doing his best here. Taking a look at the statistics, I think they're going to be heavily in the favor of Flying Mouse. Yeah, 52 deaths, kills, 26 units lost, raising 15 buildings, losing none, converting 2 units, and having 23 largest army to Jasuni's largest army of 2. Jasuni just never got a chance to take off. And Flying Mouse kind of playing that smartly, because if Jasuni's allowed to get to Imperial Age and do what he wants to do, it actually, especially with the handicap, he actually is pretty good at managing it. And so we can see that Flying Mouse managing a slow decline of Jasuni's empire. Second game is on Denali. Let's go. So Denali, you start with all these little lumber piles here. Looks like these ones have some random amounts of wood. You start with the Eagle Scout as always. We're looking at Jasuni, and he is playing as the Orange Romans. I love this choice. And he's going to start immediately by building his 2 houses to wall this off, which is pretty funny. He might be a little bit paranoid. You can see that all of these carts here have trucked these lumber piles in. This is all this scrap lumber. It used to look like nice, good lumber too, but the graphic for that lumber was like taken out of the game or something. So it introduced in one of the more recent patches. So it introduced some bugs. Jasuni on the left-hand side of the map, and Flying Mouse here on the right-hand side. Let's take a look at Flying Mouse's point of view. You start with some outposts to mitigate the risk of tower rush. Flying Mouse coming through here looking for some sheep. He's going to find a few. He's going to find that this wolf here has killed this cart. Oh, interesting. I think this is a new cart graphic, actually. And there are some dead people. It's really tough up here. There's no vegetation on Denali. And Flying Mouse is exploring this glacial flow on Denali. Oh, he's going to steal this sheep from Jasuni. But just a rocky, snowy... And this is in the summer, too. If we uncheck Fog of War. Like, this is... Even down here, it's kind of melting and sort of trickling and running through the ground and over the ground. There's a little bit of a glacial pool here. But this is inhospitable. This is some tough stuff. Now, Jasuni with the handicap, I don't know that affects scout health or statistics in any way, but I think he got the first hit on Flying Mouse, so forcing Flying Mouse to retreat. I like how this, they added some more facets to that cart after it was destroyed. So not all the carts made it up and successfully moved all of this wood up here. Some of them did die on the way. So just Flying Mouse is playing as the Aztecs, which I think is kind of an interesting choice. Flying Mouse was telling me during the development of this map that this seemed to be a Mesoamerican friendly map. I'm not exactly sure his reasons why, but I'm glad that he sees something in the Mesoamerican civs here. I like the Mesoamerican civs. I like to see them. Oh no! Oh no! Alright, Jasuni is being attacked by this bear here, but the bear is bugging out. And now it's just standing in position, so Jasuni's like, alright, well, I'll just hunt you. Oh no! Oh no, Jasuni, no, no! Oh, he is going to get away. And the bear's going to run away. Oh man, this is one feisty little bear. Here it comes. Alright, Jasuni trying to pull it back. And I guess he just downs it right there. He wanted it close to the town center, but the bear was acting in a strange... an erratic kind of way. The relics are all on this northern outcropping of the map. Not all of them are accessible, but it's not a big deal. It just kind of nerfs standard victory a little bit, I guess, if not all the relics are accessible. All kinds of rocks up here. Flying Mouse is milling his bear. There's another bear over here. You get 2 bears on this map. And yeah, you see these lumber piles right here that people carted up? Well, that's the only source of wood on this entire map. So you can run out of wood. I haven't seen anybody run out of wood yet, but I guess it's possible. In theory. Because there's so little of it compared to other maps. It's mostly just rocks. So, whoops. Very open map. Tough map. Flying Mouse with a 2-villager lead over Jasuni. Jasuni with a little bit of idle time, I think, from fighting the bear. That would be my guess. But Jasuni's villagers are also, they work a little bit more efficiently. We can also see that Flying Mouse is pushing in an Ibex. Smart. Ibexes. This is actually like one of the few places where true Ibexes can actually be found. Otherwise, I just think of them as wild goats. Jasuni building another house right here. I don't know what that's all about. I think he could plug another one of these gaps up if he really wanted to. Villagers headed back. They're going to drop off their food from the bear, and I think the bear is out of food now. And Flying Mouse has got Feudal Age queued up. Let's see where Jasuni's at with queuing up Feudal Age. Actually, Jasuni could queue up Feudal Age at any time, and I think he should, but he's missing the buildings. I think he needs a mill in order to queue up the next age. So he does manage to get that bear, but that bear does do some damage to some villagers. There's the mill. This will help him advance more quickly. He should be building it as quickly as possible, though. I don't think he realizes that Flying Mouse is up already. When you go up, I mean, 22 pop is pretty standard, I think, to go up on Flying Mouse's... Yeah, Flying Mouse has gotten Loom. Jasuni may have gotten Loom. I'm not sure. Yeah, he's also gotten Loom. And he has a mill, and he should be clicking up. But it's kind of... yeah, he should click up as soon as possible. That's just what I'll say. I was going to say it's asking for trouble to click up to Feudal Age on an open map like this at like 25 or 26 pop. But no, I guess he would be at 25 or 26 pop if he didn't have Town Center idle time. His opponent is ahead of him in villagers. Actually, not by that many, though. But then again, just Flying Mouse has been advancing to the Feudal Age fast for longer, I mean. So Jasuni going to build this barracks here. Jasuni's big problem is that he has forward gold. He really needs to find a way to wall off and include this forward gold. Otherwise, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. There's a gold back here, but in general, there's not much gold on this map. Flying Mouse's gold is a little bit better. He still has to finish walling this off, though, but at least his gold isn't directly in the front like Jasuni's is. Jasuni's gold is pretty unlucky. But he might be able to make this gold back here work if he needed to. He's also building another lumber camp here, expanding that, and I'm wondering what he's going to do as the Romans. He seems like he really wants to wall this area off, but this is what he needs to protect. So if he's taken off of this, this is what will do the most damage. But he is at least trying to house wall as best as he can. Alright, so Jasuni has hit the Feudal Age now. Flying Mouse has been in the Feudal Age. Flying Mouse is actually stonewalling. I think that's an interesting choice. This map, theoretically, it would be good to stonewall, but it's kind of confusing. Like, look at these stone walls on this mountain here. Right, the hitbox for these mountains is reduced, so it's really hard to tell if you've walled everything. You have to do the click test religiously. But if he could stonewall this off, it would really help him out a bunch. So he's got the 2 archery ranges here, so it's probably just going to be 2 range archers from Flying Mouse. 23 or 22 pop archers. Pretty common build. Jasuni, on the other hand, I don't know what Jasuni is up to. He's got the resources for Castle Age. I think that's what he wants to do. Eagle coming in here, seeing Jasuni walling stuff off. No, Jasuni has a stable. He's going Roman Cavalry, a stable, and Blacksmith. He's going Fast Castle into Knights. This is exciting. I don't know if Jasuni will be quite fast enough to get there. Let's take a look and see what Flying Mouse knows of Jasuni's base. So, Flying Mouse has scouted Jasuni. He's coming through here. He's trying to pick off a weak villager. Jasuni relocating it back to his town center. Flying Mouse has not discovered Jasuni's stable or blacksmith, so he does not know what Jasuni is up to yet. But he's looking. And if he comes over this way, he sees the blacksmith. That doesn't tell him very much. It just tells him that Jasuni remembered to get his blacksmith. If he scouts a market, it'll tell him Fast Castle. He knows that there's a barracks here. He wants to fight this. Actually, he's made himself another eagle. Jasuni not paying attention. Okay, and there's a hole in the wall. Now there's a scout, so Flying Mouse is going to know that Jasuni has a stable, even though he hasn't scouted it yet. So let's take a look at Jasuni's point of view. We'll undo the view lock here. So Jasuni not making anything from the stable yet. It's not really his plan, I think, to make scouts. His plan is to go knights. Jasuni fighting this eagle here. This eagle is actually going to lose this fight. Doesn't have enough upgrades to win. The villager goes back to mining gold. Ironic, you know, you can't grow trees on Denali, but you can grow farms, right? It just kind of speaks to rules by necessity. It's still Age of Empires. You still have to be able to build farms. I mean, it'd be cool to have them build greenhouses instead to collect food from, but there is no greenhouse graphics in the game. So Jasuni is Castle Age. I would love to see some knights right now. But instead, Jasuni is going to build another town center. So he's going fast castle. He's going to build this other town center here to help secure his wood. But I don't see any knights. And knights would actually be very, very destructive to Flying Mouse. Flying Mouse has got a bunch of archers built up. And I think Flying Mouse is going to rush down this market so that he can sell some wood. I think he's stopped building archers because he knows that if he attacks Jasuni, these archers could get wrecked by knights. So he's actually going to leave Jasuni alone for a while. And he's going to plot Jasuni's demise for later on in the game. I guess he's going to make one more archer. For reasons that I do not understand. But he's not really close to the Castle Age. Let's go back to Jasuni's point of view. So Flying Mouse is leaving him alone. Jasuni's added another town center. He's taking his ibex. He's got a market back here. He really should build like an outpost or something to keep an eye on Flying Mouse. Make sure that Flying Mouse doesn't get too close. I would also love to see a monastery and for Jasuni to start collecting relics. Jasuni likes relics. He tries to, in the games of him that I've cast, he tries to make an effort, an above average effort relative to other players to get relics. But he's not there right now. He's just trying to close all of this off. But it's tricky. It's tricky because there's all kinds of rocks and uneven terrain and these mountains with smaller hitboxes. So it can be very hard to seal everything off. So Jasuni with 36 villagers to Flying Mouse is 35. And Flying Mouse still has yet to advance as well. Jasuni headed out this way with some villagers. I wonder what this is about. Is this another town center? I hope not. There's nothing out here. Okay, there it is. There's his monastery. So Jasuni thinking about the relics, which is awesome. He's taking a score lead over Flying Mouse. And he's got his scout over here keeping an eye on what Flying Mouse is up to. Let's go back to Flying Mouse's perspective. Flying Mouse is halfway up to the Castle Age, so he very smartly waits before attacking with the archers. Doesn't want to lose them to knights. He will fall further behind in villagers as he advances. He's 5 villagers behind Jasuni, so Jasuni's actually doing pretty well right now relative to Flying Mouse. We can see that Jasuni wants to wall this off. He's probably going to come back here and he's going to build one final wall segment here. He's built an outpost, and he's actually, no, he started with this outpost. He didn't build that. Nor did he build that. He should build an outpost right here, though. I think units can just walk right in. I'm not sure, though. Maybe not. Maybe not. Flying Mouse hitting the Castle Age. He's got his archers forward and in formation. He's putting down a monastery so that he can heal his archers. Maybe he'll go for the relics. I don't know, but Jasuni just barely missing this. Actually, I'm going to pause. Because I think Jasuni is just now scouting the archery ranges, it looks like. He actually finds a way to get in. I wouldn't pick a fight with that spearman, though. So Jasuni could actually go into the back and see what Flying Mouse is up to. But unfortunately for Jasuni, he does not scout these crossbowmen, so these villagers are all dead. Wait! Jasuni sees it! He sees it before Flying Mouse does, and he pulls his villagers back. Now that is impressive. And the crossbows just go straight through because this isn't actually walled off. And Jasuni has to relocate these villagers which were on the wood. They're trying to get away. They are having confusion with pathing. But he does manage to flee with most of them, actually. So now Jasuni is aware that his opponent has a ball of crossbows. He throws down a siege workshop for defense. From which he will probably make... Oh, he's making some scorpions. Okay. We got a couple of knights here, too. This is not enough knights. This is too many crossbowmen for that number of knights. And what's more is the knights don't have the armor that they need. Now, this is not a safe area. Jasuni cannot go back here. He cannot take this wood. This wood is effectively on the other side of the map. These crossbows, they've got the range upgrades they need. They're just going to attack the farm, I guess. Jasuni smartly pulling that knight back. I would wait until you've got a couple of scorpions before taking a fight here. It just doesn't want an eagle to like dive this scorpion and kill it easily. This is also not walled off. By the way, let's keep an eye on what Jasuni is doing with the relics here, which I really like. He has snagged 2 of them so far, but he's got 3 monks. He's got 3 monks, and he's found pretty much all the relics that are contestable. There might be a few more up here that he hasn't spotted yet, but he knows where they are. Yep, there's the eagle. Knights finish off the eagle. So Jasuni's actually in a commanding position, even though he's lost some villagers. He's got 51 villagers to Flying Mouse's 45. Let's take a look at Flying Mouse's point of view and see if we can figure out what his plan is. His plan is to kill those knights, and then what? Oh, he's got monks. Okay. The monks will be very effective at fighting the knights. The monks could actually also get redemption. These villagers, I don't know what this is. I think this was a misclick from Jasuni, and just like 3 villagers die, which is unfortunate. These monks can convert the scorpions, and Jasuni's going to need to take that pretty seriously, these monks. These monks could get redemption, they could get all kinds of technologies, and Flying Mouse could just do a monk rush of Jasuni's whole base. And in fact, that's what I would do if I were him. We can see that he's heavily invested in gold here, so I think that that's what this will become. He has not added another town center, which I, again, respect. Jasuni getting all of these relics. And he does have a monastery up here. Flying Mouse has more offensive monks. Flying Mouse converting the stable and making a Xolotl warrior. I love it. Aztecs don't normally get cavalry. The Xolotl warrior... he's very damaged by the scorpions because he has no armor. And the Aztecs can't upgrade his armor either. But at least they can heal him. And he's decently tanky enough. So, Flying Mouse getting fervor. Let's take a look at what Jasuni is up to. Jasuni's at 69 population, 59 of which is villagers. And he started taking stone. He's also massing Roman scorpions. I guess it makes sense that he's going scorpions because he's Romans. Romans are good at scorpions. Flying Mouse should definitely consider redemption. Scorpions landing a hit on these crossbows. These crossbowmen, again, picking off villagers. It's Jasuni's primary weakness is Flying Mouse is now tied with him in villagers. Even though Flying Mouse is playing more aggressively and less economically. Jasuni specifically has the economic build, but he's bleeding out villagers in different locations to Flying Mouse because he just can't keep them safe on an aggressive map like this. Eagle's taking a little bit of arrow fire. Some villagers coming forward for Flying Mouse. This is probably a castle drop. It denies this wood from Jasuni, and maybe part of this wood right here, but Jasuni can still take other wood. He's got this wood here that he's taking, and he's got this wood back here that he's taking. He is out of wood right here, though. Jasuni is also taking stone. These archers want to try to find their way over to this stone to stop it, I would assume. Jasuni getting raided by the eagle. So the monks, why aren't they converting the scorpions more? I mean, we know that Flying Mouse has redemption. He's converted this stable and he's converted this house. Why don't we see Flying Mouse pushing in with more monks, converting all these scorpions? I'm not really sure. Uh-oh. Well, that was a misclick. Mangonel felling a scorpion. But Jasuni's town center is on a hill. He has that hill advantage to help him defend. Crossbowman goes down. Mangonel working on the town center. Jasuni has a lot of wood, actually, and a lot of gold. He is dropping a castle here at the back of his base to prevent Flying Mouse from doing so, I suppose. Not a lot of building room on this map. Jasuni also going for this gold. He sent some villagers to shank down that Mangonel, losing a few villagers. He's got 58 villagers to Flying Mouse's 63, and Flying Mouse is only on one town center. Flying Mouse just coming in with the archers. Jasuni, pay attention. Garrison your town center. Oh, this is a disaster. Come on. There's no reason for this. He's distracted somewhere else. These archers literally just walked through, killed a bunch of villagers, and now they're going to go kill gold miners. So Jasuni didn't notice. He's on his way up to the Imperial Age. Alright, he's got a couple scorpions to take out those crossbows. These are positioned well. I don't know if he relocated those to deal with the archers or what. Siege Workshop being converted, so Jasuni has to delete it. And he goes after the monk with the villagers instead. This monk is actually going to go down to those villagers, which is pretty impressive. Now he can build a new one. Flying Mouse building buildings back here to give himself some vision. Jasuni headed up to the Imperial Age. Where's Flying Mouse at? Flying Mouse is also headed up to the Imperial Age, so he's about 2/3 of the way up. And Jasuni is about 2/3 of the way up as well. So they'll reach Imperial Age similar times. Jasuni wants to take this stone here. What's keeping Jasuni in this game? Well, he's got 10 relics. That's number one thing. Flying Mouse has completely neglected the relics. So we can see Jasuni's gold count is just skyrocketing, which is pretty funny. Jasuni has all of the relics. Flying Mouse is instead going to come down here and go after this gold. I think this happens to be a generation where there maybe isn't as much gold down here, though. I'm not sure. There's 2 more relics, and Jasuni is probably going to get them, and he's probably going to consider a standard victory. Flying Mouse is Imperial Age. Flying Mouse has a castle here. Jasuni has a castle here. Jasuni is repairing his town center, and he makes a Centurion. He's got a villager working on this Mangonel, which is pretty funny. He's repairing his town center, and is he making trebuchets? Well, does Jasuni know about this castle? Okay, yeah, he does. So he could be making some trebuchets. Oh, he's going to go towers instead. Is Flying Mouse going to notice this tower? Yes, he does notice. Jasuni will not be able to get that tower up. Just sending villagers to their deaths. No, come on, Jasuni. That's not going to work. You're going to lose so many villagers. Scorpion goes down. Jasuni coming back with some more relics. He intentionally ungarrisons a relic so that he's not going to be triggering a relic victory, maybe, or letting his opponent know. I'm not sure. If I were him, I would garrison it. Scorpion does manage to kill that Mangonel, so now Jasuni has room to build this guard tower. Jasuni wants to make guard towers because it'll slow his opponent down. He does have safe stone for now. I think this town center is going to go down, though. He needs to keep this up. This town center is extremely important. Everything that he has should be here. Because now his opponent can come up here and camp this hill and basically everything that Jasuni has will be downhill of his opponent. Once this town center goes down, Jasuni can't rebuild it. He could continue towering it. Jasuni has captured all of the relics. He has to hold them for 200 years in order to win. He's already held them for 10. Sorry guys, I was just reading this now. Jasuni is building a guard tower here on his monasteries. And Jasuni's goal is to just survive as long as possible. I think Flying Mouse could build a bunch of eagles and just like snipe these monasteries. Jasuni could buy a lot of stone though and definitely slow it down. He could maybe build walls or something like that along the edges of these monasteries, making them harder to snipe. He should definitely fortify this area as much as possible. Flying Mouse is going to come over here to convert this university. He's converted the Centurion. Jasuni has some trebuchets working in defense of his castle. I like how the trebuchet killed the Centurion. That's pretty funny. Jasuni needs to try to keep this castle up. He's only got 15 villagers left. Scorpion killing these repair villagers. I'm wondering if Flying Mouse is going to destroy the Scorpion with his trebuchet. Only one repair villager remains. Jasuni building another guard tower. If I were Jasuni, I would be buying food and sending villagers up here to and stone. I would also buy stone and build as many towers as you could around this and as many walls as possible. This relic victory can sneak up on people. Jasuni did manage to get a tower up here. Tower is downhill from these archers, which is unfortunate. Okay, trebuchet of Jasuni's goes down. I think this trebuchet from Flying Mouse will also go down. It's under sustained scorpion fire. Looks like these crossbows have chemistry and bracer. So the scorpions are slowly melting to them. "146 years. Yeah, Jasuni starts the plan to wall this off. Wait a second, what is this? Jasuni has all of these Eagle Scouts. Probably because he converted them. There's no other way for him to get more. So, I guess he saw a bunch of Eagles come up this way to raid his town centers, and he converted them with his monks. He doesn't have any monks anymore, but he's got some pretty sweet Eagles, and he can always build more monks. Flying Mouse has mostly cleared out the siege weapons in this area. This castle is about to go down, I think. Oh, no, he lost his eagles to this castle fire. Jasuni should repair this castle. He should repair it because this castle is buying him a lot of time. I don't think he realizes how much time this castle is buying him. Trebuchet goes down. Jasuni's going to repair his town center, but the town center goes down. He does have scorpions here to kill crossbowmen. Jasuni is being extremely stubborn. He is getting faith so that it is harder for his opponent to convert his units, which I think is funny. But the big weakness to these monasteries is trebuchets could just roll up to right here and attack them. So he needs to secure this outer area with towers and all manner of things, because Flying Mouse is going to start to send trebuchets up this way. Jasuni's villagers are retreating to up here. You're going to help build everything. He's putting everything he can into the relic victory. Is he going to be fast enough, though? Flying Mouse is sending a lot of stuff up here. I bet Flying Mouse castle drops at this location right here. I think he's just that confident. Nope. He's going to castle drop this instead. This is still quite a big castle. Quite a big presence, I should say. It's the same size castle it's always been. Soon you're going to build a town center here in range of no resources, but it'll give him the ability to make more villagers, so that'll be an advantage. He's got some monks. Nice thing about relics is that, and monks, is that monks cost only gold. So with infinite relics, you can have infinite monks. Jasuni finishing up these walls to buy himself a maximum amount of time. But the trebuchets are really going to be what does him in. Now, it looks like Flying Mouse has not packed up his trebuchets yet. He's converted to stable from Jasuni. Jasuni's market is still back here. He's got a Scorpion randomly there. These Eagles, they want to get in the way. They want to stop this town center from going up. This town center is at 97%, which is unfortunate. And I actually think these Eagles alone could deal with what's up here at this point. Because there's a hole in the wall. Jasuni not able to get the guard towers up in time. Does Jasuni have any villagers left? He's got one villager left somewhere. Where is it? It's right here. So he does have one surviving villager. I don't know that the towers can finish off these eagles. They're too busy attacking. There's too many eagles, actually. So we're at 73 years or so. And Jasuni is going to lose control of the relics, which is unfortunate, because I think it was close. But here come the trebuchets, and this is going to be what does it. So these trebuchets are going to destroy this monastery, and then Jasuni will call the GG. The second game was pretty good, I think. Jasuni made fewer mistakes in the second game, and it was a lot closer. And it could have gone in other ways too if Jasuni had just done a little bit more in defense. If he just had a little bit more, that could have translated easily into 60-ish more years. And he could have beaten Flying Mouse because he respected the relics. Let's take a look at the statistics here. Flying Mouse with 141 kills, 93 deaths, raising 36 buildings, losing only 3, converting 16 units. Jasuni's largest army of 14 to Flying Mouse's 74. Flying Mouse just crushing it across the board, just picking on Jasuni, killing off villagers here or there. Poor Jasuni, he just couldn't keep up with all of the aggression. But Jasuni did capture the 10 relics. He got 8,000 relic gold, which is pretty impressive. Did that translate into more gold collected for Jasuni? No, because Flying Mouse was down at the bottom of the map. Flying Mouse is down here taking gold. But, again, if Jasuni had just been able to buy himself a little bit more time, I believe that he could have won. So we'll go back to the replays now. The next set that we're going to look at is Shikso versus Chanchilleru. So Shikso is a German player. He is our number 2 seed for Sprint 2 of Alchemy League Season 4. He's around 2K. And Chanchilleru is around 1900, and he is a Chilean player. Both great guys, especially Shikso's been very supportive of the league. And we really appreciate he's even helped us out with the draft links. And Chanchilleru is new to us as of this season. He is a Chilean player, and he seems to love the custom maps. He did very well the previous sprint. So I want to say that even though Chanchilleru is behind Shikso by 100 elo, I think that we should really watch out, because Chanchilleru might get an upset. He might win both games against Shikso, but it's very possible that he'll take at least one game off of Shikso. This is not going to be the same kind of fight, like between Flying Mouse and Jasuni, where Flying Mouse has got a significant elo advantage. These guys are similar, and Chanchilleru is notorious for being good at custom maps, as is Shikso. But Chanchilleru got first place last season. He was tied with first, actually, I believe. He was tied for first with, let's see, League Trophy Wall. Yeah, with Biscuits. In completely different elos too, but they both got the same number of wins, which was impressive. Let's take a look at their. Oh shoot, I'm not even showing them. There we go. So they're up at top. They're up on top here, guys. 2K versus 1900. So now let's take a look at their civilization and their map draft. So the first map that they play is Columbia. They have to play that. That is the map of the round. And then they discarded a bunch of maps until only Chandalar Lake was remaining. So Shikso banning Gurjaras, Byzantines, and Portuguese based on those maps. And Chanchilleru banning Japanese, Georgians, and Mongols. Mongols, of course, making a lot of sense because everybody hates the hunted meat. So guys, let's jump into the game now, and let's spectate Shixo versus Chanchilleru. Alright, you guys are familiar with this map. We're going to zoom back into AoE2 screen. So we have it on the big screen. You don't need to see me talking about it. You just need to see the game itself. Let's introduce the players. On the left-hand side is Chanchilleru playing as the red Magyar. And then on the right-hand side of the map, we've got Shixo playing as the blue Persians. These players are approximately equidistant between the fish and the upper portion of the glacier. And it looks like Chanchilleru is immediately making a play for this mill. I wonder if he's picked Magyars because Magyars kill wolves with a single strike. And he wants to come back here, and he wants to kill the wolves with a single strike so that he can more easily hunt these bears. That could be part of his strategy. We'll just have to see. He is smartly building the mill with only one villager and collecting food with the rest. And he's basically milling these deer immediately. He's even milling them before building a lumber camp, which is pretty impressive. Shixo's going to do something a little bit more standard. He comes over here with his villager. He's going to build a lumber camp right next to a nice big, thick, fat wood line right here. And going to have a more standard opening from Shixo. Persian's a powerful civilization on any hybrid map, including this one. There are lots of hybrid Alaska maps because there's lots of water in Alaska. Hey, Adam, welcome. How I say all these crazy names so fast. Hello, hello. For I shall call you by the title that you choose in chat. But I think I know who you are. I'm pretty sure I know who you are anyway. Haven't played in a long time, but I will always remember. So, Shixo with 4 on wood. This is telling me that he is doing some kind of either water or fast... Oh, wait. He's sending another villager. He's sending another villager. Alright, so definitely some water play then. He's probably going to come down here and build the dock pretty soon. House coming up for Shixo. That's nothing special. He's going to use his eagle. Yeah, I know. You guys look at this and you're like, a Persian Eagle Scout? What the heck? Yeah, we start people with Eagle Scouts on the Alaska maps, okay? Eagles are more thematically appropriate for Alaska than just a regular old scout cavalry. I know, it's, you know, we could have done something a little bit more special, but we didn't want to be too crazy with the starting scout. The maps are already pretty unique. But my big regret with this map is that we don't have a little bit more random of player positioning. I think if I were to redo it, I would try to make the player positioning a little bit more random. You know, maybe make a chance of the players spawning up here versus a chance of the players spawning down there, just to add some variety. Because when the players have to respond to variety, that's where maps become legendary and replayable. If I play Black Ops 6, I'll let you know. Yes, I will. I have no idea what that is. I don't really know that is that a shooter game? So what's Chanchilleru up to? Has he built his... Okay, he has built his lumber camp now. And he's scouted his base with these cows. Shixo's very good. I think he wanted to keep his scout for other purposes. I'm not sure where Chanchilleru's scout is, actually. Let's see if we can find it. There it is. So the scout, not only is this... Okay, so here's the scoop. He scouted the back of his base with the cows. And then he's decided to use his scout to push deer in and steal them from Shixo's side because he's milling this. So Chanchilleru is Magyars, and he just about has the food to click up. He does click up to the feudal age, so he's going to basically do a 19-pop scouts build, which is kind of how this map was meant to. You were meant to be able to take this fast food here. You don't have any boars, but it was my hope that players would use these deer to kind of improvise. So he's going to do a proper scouts rush then. Although he might do man-at-arms instead, but I think it'll probably be scouts. Shixo, what's Shixo up to? Let's see. Shixo has docked. He's built 3 fishing ships. Chanchilleru has not docked, and actually Shixo is looking for that now. Shixo is scouting all down here. He's kind of coming around. He steals a cow from Chanchillaru. He's not going to give that back. This is a tournament game. Shikso might be a nice guy, but he wants to win. So he's going to take this cow. He discovers that Chanchillaru is on the deer. Decides not to fight this, which is smart, I think, because he probably figures there's other villagers nearby and there's other scouts nearby. But the important thing is what Shikso does not see. He does not see a dock. So he's probably going to assume land aggression. And yeah, he's going to build a barracks. So Chanchillaru is now feudal age. That should probably scare Shikso quite a bit. I would not be surprised if he small walled his woodline here. Chanchillaru, he's starting to wall off. Chanchillaru keeping an eye on things with his Eagle Scout. And Shikso surely sees that. Yeah, that was within his vision range. So Shikso's going to know. Shikso almost feudal age himself, actually. Wants to try to wall this off and prevent Chanchillaru from getting in there and doing a lot of damage. So we'll see. I mean, maybe... Oh, interesting. All visible combined with the Fog of War. That's a pretty neat effect. I don't think I've ever seen that before. So this is Shikso's Fog of War. Combined with all visible, we see that he's sending a scout over here. Shikso trying to get this walled off, but Chanchillaru is giving him a hard time. He sent a spearman over here. He's got a weak villager. He's got to send that home. Shikso sees this scout come in. He's like, ah, crap. Now I got a scout to deal with. Luckily for him, this is walled off by the gold. This spearman is trying to keep up with this scout, but the eagle is interfering. Eagle's kind of a nice refreshing break from a scout. Okay, Shikso fighting this with his own scout. He's going to try to get in here. Chanchillaru is going to try to pick off this villager. As you guys may recall, Magyar scouts do a little bit more damage on average because they get this forging for free. So Shikso has to build an archery range now. I guess he doesn't have to, but he wants to. He's building one. And he's going to try to finish off this wall. I wouldn't be surprised if he came around and did a bunch of tapping just to get partial construction on this. We'll see, though. He might conserve his APM for something else, and he wants to wall this off. Chanchillaru is waiting over here with the scouts. He's probably going to come this way, actually. See if this is open. Recognizing that this is about to be walled off. We uncheck the Fog of War. We'll see, yeah, very clearly that this is opened up. And he's going to come right in here. And Shikso is going to lose a villager to this. So unfortunately for Shikso, this flank of the map is not secure. Meanwhile, Chanchillaru he's made an archery range. He's probably going to go skirmisher, I suppose. Let's take a look at what Chanchillaru is up to. He's making archers. So he's going scouts and archers. Seems like he really believes in feudal aggression for this map. So he spots this bear. Shikso sending some military down here to secure this, and he's going to send this villager to wall this. So Chanchillaru has gotten a couple of economic pickoffs, if you will. Chanchillaru, he's got to be careful. These guys are 2K players. We're not going to see them blunder. For the most part, we're not going to see them blunder into spearmen. And we've got a couple of archers here. I think Chanchillaru wants to combine his forces if he's going to take a good fight. He needs to steer clear of the spearmen. The archers are here to help him kill spearmen, and Shikso recognizing he can't secure this wall off here, so he's going to build a gate here instead. And another gate here. Just wants to keep Chanchillaru out. Chanchillaru with the scouts and the archers. Let's take a look and see how close Shikso is to clicking up to Castle Age. Shikso, it looks like Shikso's actually making archers of his own. Kind of forced into that. Chanchillaru's investment in feudal age units. He's coming out here. He's got a few archers. He's got a few scouts. But so far, this is playing out very similar to Arabia, which I'm pleased to see. Shikso, though, with the free fishing right here. Even Shikso, he's made this fire galley here, but Chanchillaru is not on water, and it doesn't look like he plans to be. Shikso approaching the food to click up, but he does not have the gold. Let's see how close Chanchillaru is to clicking up. He does not have the food or the gold, but he has a bunch of extra wood. So Chanchillaru could potentially click up here. Looks like Shikso's built a sizable feudal army, and he's forced Chanchillaru away. He's finally going to secure this. He's going to kill this bear first so the bear doesn't interfere with the construction of the mill. He's got to pull the villager back and try to block the bear. Okay, he does get it. This villager's hurt. He's going to bring her home so that she's not out here in the field to get picked off by some scouts. So he's going to collect from this bear, and then he's also going to build this mill. So these players at this point were in the second sprint. There's twice as much prize money at stake, so we would expect that these players would have stuff figured out by now with regards to the bear. In the first few rounds, it was a little rough. You'd see even like 1,700 players losing stuff to bears. Interestingly, Chunchiller is going to use his military to pressure Shixo's fishing. I don't know how effective that is going to be because there's a fire ship here, but what makes it more practical is the fact that there's a lot of shallows around here. So the fishing ships have to travel through a lot of shallow terrain in order to get to the dock, and that's opportunity for Chonchilleru to deal damage to them. He's going to stand up here and just got an archer just shooting at a fire galley, because why not? Why the heck not? So Chonchilleru is on his way up to the Castle Age. He's getting, he's actually getting Bodkin arrows, so he's investing in archers a little bit more. And Shixo is investing in a galley because he wants to defend this a little bit better. Chonchilleru has somewhat neglected it. Shixo does have the score lead, we should note. He has not made a demolition ship yet, which I think would be pretty funny if these got blown up by a demolition ship. But he's got other plans. So Shixo Castle Age, Chonchilleru is going to pull back. Doesn't want to fight that. Doesn't want to fight an opponent in Castle Age. And Shixo coming here for a counterattack. He's got a bunch of spearmen. And he's going to kind of find his way underneath this town center, I suppose. Chonchilleru does not have a lot of units inside of this town center. But there's a group of archers here, a group of spearmen here. Is Shixo going to get the drop on his opponent? Going to kill a bunch of things. Chonchilleru has to send a lot of emergency military over here, but he will suffer some damage as a result of this. All right, one villager does go down. That's actually, I don't know how he did that. I would have thought he would have lost more villagers than that, but it looks like he only lost one villager, which is pretty impressive. So Shixo's probably still happy with that raid, although he did lose his entire military. He at least retaliated and put his opponent on defensive. Killed the villager. So we got 39 villagers for Shixo. And let's see how many villagers Chonchilleru has. Chonchilleru with 35. So Chonchilleru is definitely behind in villager count. Economically behind. He's going to make some cavalry archers for whatever reason. People think that cavalry archers are good on this map. Maybe they are. People who are better than me are making them, so they must be good. Chonchilleru sending some crossbows, but I don't know how much these crossbows are going to accomplish. Looks like they're getting burninated by the fire ships. Is he going to make it to safety? He wants to try to be annoying to fishing ships. He just wants to camp here and shoot fishing ships that show up at the dock, which is annoying. Shixo actually is also making cavalry archers. These are Persian cavalry archers. I don't know why Persians would want to. I can understand Magyars because they get a lot of cav archer bonuses, but Persians are missing bracer, so long-term cavalry archers are not going to be a good investment. But I suppose in the short term, if it helps him get by and that's what he wants to do, then all the more power to him. Shixo deleting a wall segment. Chonchilleru is on the run. Chonchilleru has walled this off pretty effectively. He's also kind of walled this off pretty well. He's kind of got this whole corner under wraps. He's built a second town center. And he's making more cavalry archers. Is it completely walled off? No. Looks like the scout just came through here. But I think it's mostly walled off. Chonchilleru are going to plug this up. But he's going to have to pull off of this. Yeah, he's going to have to remove his villagers from this location. Luckily for him, his opponent does not have ballistics, so no villager kill there. Another town center going up for Chonchilleru, desiring the 3 town center boom. This is not walled off, though. This is a disaster. Oh, no. Shixo going to get in here. I wonder if Chonchilleru assumed that this was a regular bush or something, walling that off. 3 villagers go down, which is very unfortunate for Chonchilleru. Shikso killing that bear. He does not want Chonchilleru to get the free food. Hill advantage here. Can Chonchilleru push this back?
Yes.
Alright, looks like they had to pause. That's fine. They don't pause the recording. They just pause the live game. Uh-oh, Chonchilleru notices. Okay, he is able to save most of his villagers. Shikso's cavalry archers are taking some damage. I think Dedicated Man does what he loves. They do love their cav archers. I think Chonchilleru is surprised by these cavalry archers. I think he was not expecting it. I think that's why he's not as prepared. He's got this bear helping him out against the cav archers. Welcome, Zerg. So, 67 villagers for Shikso, 48 for Chonchilleru. He finally feels confident enough to come back and finish the town center that he started. Shikso killing off the other bear. Is he going to kill this bear too in the corner? Just kill all the bears. Yep. Does not want his opponent getting all that extra food. And at this point in the game, the bears are pretty easy to kill. Wonder if Shikso will stop to kill this bear. No, he's going to come over here and kill... Man, this is very annoying if you're Chonchilleru. Get some more villager pickoffs. The cavalry archers are very damaging. But I think Shikso is finally cornered now. Chonchilleru going to come this way, probably because he thinks that Shikso's going this way. I would assume he could see Shikso killing off the final bear. Yeah, I would assume he could see Shikso coming this way. Wait, there's one more bear. Will this bear survive? The bear that's in the back of Shikso's base. One more. Got a skirmisher. Somebody should get ballistics, and by somebody I mean Chonchilleru. He needs ballistics. Chonchilleru trying to corner Shikso. This is quite the wild goose chase here. Shikso killing the last bear. No bear left unkilled. So Shikso is probably not even making any more cav archers. Let's see. I mean, I guess he's getting thumb rings, so he's still investing in them. He's added a 4th town center. On this gold, he's on 4 town center. Chonchilleru trying to boom and kill all of these nuisance cav archers at the same time. Actually, I lied. There is one more bear back here. But this bear... Actually, there are 2 more, but these bears are walled out. So Shikso could kill this one, but he'd have to bust through this wall to kill the other bear. So Chonchilleru preserving the bears. Somehow these cav archers are still alive. I don't get it. But props to Shikso for keeping that raiding force alive for so long and dealing so much damage from those units. I think he did surprise Chonchilleru significantly. Shikso deciding he's going to come forward and put some more pressure on Chonchilleru. He's building a siege workshop here, and he's got more cavalry archers. I actually don't know if this location is tenable. Maybe it is. Let's see. He's got 8 cav archers, and Chonchilleru has 7 or 8 cav archers as well. He's got, no, 7 cav archers. Actually, Chonchilleru does not know, probably, that siege workshop is going up. Otherwise, he'd probably try to stop it. Yeah, he doesn't know. He doesn't know that it's here, otherwise he'd try to stop it. Did he finally manage to kill off the last of the cav archers? I think he did. I think we just saw the last one sinking into the dirt there. So his base is finally clear of annoying cav archers. He can do what he wants to do, which is try to catch up to Shikso's boom. Shikso's already at 100 villagers. We can see that Shikso's kill to death ratio is 40 to 26. He's gotten much better value than Chonchilleroo has. Chonchilleroo coming out with some skirmishers and some cavalry archers. He sees the mangonel. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, he knows he has to dive the base of it. The mangonel is going to get a hit in. Skirmishers are trying to dive within the minimum range of the mangonel. And there they are. That actually was not too bad for Chonchilleroo, although he's going to lose everything. He at least destroyed the mangonel and killed a bunch of cavalry archers. Shixo microing the one in front to try to get maximum damage. Ram pops out, and Chonchilleroo decides to button this back up. He's like, nope, nope, nope. We don't want to go out anymore. Building a defensive siege workshop. I think defensive mangonels are the play here, and he's also going to wall up behind, so he takes this threat very seriously. Shixo with the castle drop, so he's like, okay, you know, Shixo's come here to kill me now. He knows that Shixo at this point was just raiding him, and now Shixo is determined to kill him. Shixo has fished out all of the fish down here, so he has built fish traps to keep his fishing ships busy. He did manage at some point to kill Chonchilleroo's archers that were denying this. Chonchilleroo is a little bit behind. He's going to build a defensive castle as well. Try to keep this area secure, and he's got a mangonel here. So you got a mangonel in a castle, you're pretty much immune to rams. Mangonel pops out, scares off the cavalry archers. He will have an advantage. If Chonchilleroo can get to Imperial Age, and I know that sounds like a big if, and it sort of is. If he can get to Imperial Age, and they both are going into cavalry archers, he'll have a huge advantage over Shixo, who is missing Bracer. But Chonchilleroo's chief disadvantage here is that where's all his gold and stone? He's got some stone down here, and he has some gold here, but he's pretty much taken all of his other resources. So he's going to have to go trash units. Neither player have made an attempt at the monks up here, and neither player have really gone for all these sheep either, which is kind of unfortunate. There's 1,000 food right here. Chonchilleroo is forced to build a market and do some market abuse. He's trying to get up to the next stage. We can see that he's short on some food. Shixo's probably already clicked up. Yeah, there it is. He reaches the Imperial Age, and Chonchilleroo calls the GG. Shixo pulling off the win on Denali with the unexpected Persian cavalry archers. So coming in and surprising Chonchilleroo. Chonchilleroo was not expecting to spend the mid-game chasing Persian cavalry archers around his base. Zerg says, Red can come back with a few good mango shots, but it's hard. It's true. It's true. It was not over. It's just, in this particular case, he was in a bad spot because the last of his gold and stone were being denied, and Shixo took control of the map at the right time and did enough weakening damage to Chonchilleroo to prevent him from ever pushing out and securing neutral resources. If the elephants get going, you can't win. It's true, the elephants are too powerful for Castle Age trash units, or any units, really. Now let's go and cast the final game. After reviewing the statistics, Shixo with really good value in terms of kill to death. It's those cavalry archers wandering around Chonchilleroo's base, picking off villagers. Rampaging is actually a better word. Shixo with the bigger economy, collected a lot more stone. Chonchilleroo with the faster feudal age, he did have an early advantage. Shixo booming up to 117 villagers, Chonchilleroo at 98. And Shixo with the ever-present economic lead. I think maybe Chonchilleroo maybe could have spent more time killing Shixo's fishing ships rather than trying to get in, but it did look pretty good for Chonchilleroo for a time. So now we're going to go into game 2. This is Chandalar Lake. Shixo versus Chonchilleroo again. Mayans versus Persians. Alright, so in the red, at about 5 o'clock, we've got Chonchilleroo playing as the Persians. And in the blue, at about 2 o'clock, we've got Shixo playing as the Mayans. Now note that we've seen Persians in this set already. We're going to have to clarify with the Civ draft that, because sometimes we see players play as a civilization that's previously picked by their opponent in the set. That was never my intention, but it is possible. It doesn't really say it in the handbook, so we'll allow it. Chunchiluru immediately comes. He loves his mill before lumber camp. Look at this. Here he comes. He's coming out here to mill these fish. He needs to be careful though of these food bears. This food bear could attack him. Does he know about the food bear? He does. So he's giving the food bear a wide berth. Yeah, he even retasks his villagers, like, make sure you get these ones and not the food bear. Sending his villagers out this way. Seems like he has a lot of villagers for this point in the game. I guess maybe not. Maybe we were just talking and got distracted. And now he's going to chop those straggler trees. So Shikso, a little bit more traditional of an approach. Again, lumber camp first. He's got 7 on sheep. 2 on wood so far. So this is the ice version of the map. There are 2 versions of Chandalar Lake. Chandalar Lake was made by Zetnus for Alchemy League Season 4. Zetnus is a friend of mine. He is a very good map scripter. Very knowledgeable about all the traditional ways of making random map scripts. All the different parameters and options that you have in the scripting engine. The fact that he made this boomerang-shaped lake is pretty cool. And it's actually very simple. If I were to do this, it would have been way more complicated. So the fact that he was able to get this orientation very simply is pretty impressive. Although he did have to do extra contingencies for higher numbers of players than just 2. So Chunchiluru almost losing a villager there to that bear, sending it home to keep it safe underneath the town center. Just gonna take some geese with it. So this is the ice version. The ice version's got all of this. You can move across this. There's a lot of shorefish here that you could take, but it is vulnerable to land units. It's hard to defend. You obviously can't wall on the ice. You can barely build mills on the ice. In fact, mills are the only thing you can build on this ice. We changed the rules so that you could build mills on this ice, but nothing else. So can't build walls or any kind of military production buildings. So probably what we'll see is we could see Chunchiluru coming out here with some villagers and maybe a spearman later on continue to take from these fish. It's a good source of food. The other option is that it could be a thawed lake and it's actually a naval battle at that point. People are building ships and such. So Shikso eating his food bear. Chunchiluru has taken his food bear already, of course, and almost lost the villager, but he did manage to save it. Heavily on wood now as he's advancing to the feudal age. Let's take a look at Shikso and see what Shikso's up to. Shikso hasn't clicked up yet, but he's about to. There's the click. So Shikso is Mayans. Mayans, their resources last a little bit longer, so I can understand the choice of Mayans on this map. Barracks, not a surprise for Chunchiluru. Shikso will also probably throw down a barracks foundation here pretty soon. Once he has the wood. Chunchiluru does not have to worry about his opponent going scouts because his opponent does not get scouts. Mayans don't get scouts. I mean, they get eagle scouts, but they don't get scouts, like cavalry scouts. Alright, Chunchiluru feudal age. Let's see what it is. Probably stable. Yep, there it is. Stable is being built, and we can see a barracks coming down for Shikso. So Shikso needs to secure this area very much. Most of his gold is here, So he will actually probably build a mining camp right in between these two golds. That's what I would do if I were him. And then he'll probably build another house here. But he'll probably make a spearman from this barracks first, I would imagine. And that spearman will be on his wood line. Or maybe out here. Or maybe both. Maybe he'll make 2 spearmen. See what Shikso knows of his opponent. He hasn't really scouted his opponent's base yet. But your Persians, you can kind of assume that if they're Persians, they're going to go for scouts. And there it is. He scouts the stable. He sees his opponent's eagle because everybody starts with an eagle on this map. And yep, sure enough, there's the mining camp. It's actually a little bit closer. It's a little bit further away from these gold piles than I thought it would be, but that's fine. So we got a spearman coming out. So we pretty much have a scout and an eagle versus a scout and a spearman. Or an eagle and a spearman, rather. 2 scouts. We got to be careful. Gotta be careful, Shikso. Ooh, Shikso seeing this. This is actually really big. The fact that Shikso saw that. So he automatically knows, alright, well, time to build a new lumber camp. And he's going to wall this off for some mysterious reason. Probably because it'll be hard to wall up later if he ever wanted to. So Chanchilaru is going to build this tower and Shikso has to let it go up. And he's going to try to wall this off too to his town center just to keep his opponent contained. But he definitely knows that Chanchilaru is out for blood. Chanchilaru is going to build another tower, I think. Let's take a look at Chanchilaru's resources. Looks like he wants to. He's sending this villager forward. But no, he doesn't have the stone. He's got to maybe build an outpost instead. No, he's going to wall that off. Okay. I thought he would drop a mining camp here and build another tower on the wood line. Shikso. So, Chanchilaru finding Shikso's villagers. Actually, wait a second. No, Shikso sent some stuff over here to try to ambush Chanchilaru's villagers. I don't know that he actually killed any villagers. He had an archer. It was close, I think. There's some pretty injured... There's a really injured villager right here, but Chanchilaru manages to save it. Shikso, so he managed to fend off Shikso's attack. Market Blacksmith coming up for Shikso. Could this mean that Shikso is ready to click up to the next stage? No. Looks like it's just there to help Shikso balance his economy. And maybe wall this area off. I think that there's still a gap here. Chanchilaru coming, looking for some damage on the lake. The bear ignored his scout. Shikso taking some fish here, fishing. Ice fisherman. The fight has spilled over in this direction. Shikso, I guess, deciding to withdraw. He is pretty heavily outnumbered. I guess he's going to have to fight it now. Again, getting caught out of position. See, what do we got here? We got another barracks from Shikso. So, Chanchilaru does not know about this barracks because he just started building it. So, if we go to Shikso's Fog of War, don't see as much, but if we go to Chanchilaru's Fog of War, yeah, so he doesn't know about this barracks yet. Maybe he'll find out about that barracks. These skirmishers are coming down. That would be huge, because Shikso is seeing all of these skirmishers and, like, trash units, and he's thinking eagles would be really good against that. So, Chanchilaru comes down this way, but he does not scout that additional barracks. So, Shikso's probably going to be making some eagles. Yep, eagle there. And he's going to make eagles from this barracks too. Let's see if Chanchilaru can even see the eagles being made from... Yeah, okay, he can't. So, if Shikso makes eagles from this barracks, Chanchilaru will see it. So, he'll have some idea that his opponent's going for eagles, but he won't have a full idea that his opponent's going for eagles, because there's another barracks back here, making them that he doesn't know about. Chanchilleru getting close to clicking up to the next stage, I think. He could cancel these villagers and that scout and just sell some food maybe at the market and click up. But he figures he needs the military investment. There's a lot of resources out here on this lake, and he wants them. So in order to do that, he has to invest in military. It's basically scout skirm, and he sees these eagles, though, and now he knows to run away. Does Shikso have any armor for the eagles? Yes, he does. He got melee armor, and he got pierce armor for the eagles. The eagles have more melee armor than the scouts. They have to withdraw. Shikso's got a little bit more behind. The scouts withdraw, and now both sides are just going to pull back and kind of lick their wounds. I think Shikso will continue to make eagles, and Chanchilleru will continue to make scout skirm. Shikso on his way up to the Castle Age. This could be huge. Chanchilleru, meanwhile, Chanchilleru is also going up to the Castle Age, and he's getting armor. He's getting armor for the Scout Cavalry. So he's going to be able to make some knights pretty soon, and that will be quite powerful. Needs to be careful, Shikso does. Otherwise, these villagers could get ambushed, caught out of position. He's got military here to defend them. But the military can only be in so many places at once. These skirmishers coming in for a dive on the villagers. Is the damage output on skirmishers good? No, not really. But Shikso still loses a villager. He's still got eagles fighting here. He has to withdraw. Hey, Cookie Pirate, welcome. 2 villagers down from that. Chanchilleru getting some decent damage in on Shikso in that way. Shikso Castle Age. What does he do with the Castle Age? Chanchilleru is going double. Okay, Chanchilleru is Castle Age as well. They're both Castle Age. They have very similar times. Shikso is full-on eagles. And he is going to overwhelm his opponent. And we just saw that Chanchilleru is full-on knights. So it's going to be eagles versus knights. The knights are assembling. He's got, I think, at least 2 stables to make them from, and he's building a 3rd one. Neither player... Oh, never mind. I lied. Shikso's going to add another town center. I don't think Chanchilleru will. I think Chanchilleru will just go 1 town center all in, but I could be mistaken. We'll see. I do my best to try to predict these things, but these guys are way better than I am, and so they move in mysterious ways. Is that villager going to go down? No, he manages to save the villager. Shikso sees the knights and builds a monastery. He wants to have monks available to convert the knights because they are very powerful adversaries. Almost done with his 2nd town center here. That will help him secure this gold. I think he should be taking this gold, though. I know it's a little bit more dangerous, but it's the gold that's in the front. So he wants to try to get as much of that as possible before that area is being pressured by his opponent. Because if his opponent pressures this area, gold collection here would be less efficient. So I think he'd end up getting more gold if he took it from the front first. Shikso attempting an attack here with a couple of archers, but Chanchilleru intercepting him with his cavalry and has headed up across the lake. Shikso needs to be very careful about this. Chanchilleru seemingly has not forgotten about Shikso's fishing, ice fishing activities. Shikso coming out here to defend this. And let's see the Fog of War. Oh, no. No, no, no. Alright, but Shikso is paying attention. It is unfortunate, though, because the knights do get the drop on his villagers. He does have the eagles here to defend them. The villagers are just trying to get behind the eagles. And Chanchilleru has to retreat. Shikso's going to build another mill. These eagles chase the knights off. Now that he's accounted for their position. More knights. This is actually too many knights. I think Shikso should withdraw, and he does. I don't know if Shikso got a glimpse of that. I think he did, and that's why he withdrew. He's like, all right, well, that's too many knights for me to fight. I need a monk. I need more eagles. And he does have the units for it now. So this monk could start converting. He probably will. And it's going to be eagles versus knights. Oh, Shikso with the conversion. He's going for another conversion. He gets it. So now we've got a big monk and eagle and knight fight. But ultimately, Shikso deciding to withdraw. He's got to pull these villagers out too. Luckily for him, these knights do not have very good vision. So if we look, he probably will find at least some, but he's not going to find all. So he's going to see there are a couple villagers out there, and he has the scouts helping him to scout out and find his opponent's villagers. So this villager's going to go down, the other villager's going to go down. Shikso cannot maintain. He can't keep taking fish out here. His opponent has too much. His opponent's too heavily invested. We can see that Chancellor is still on only one town center. Shikso has gone 2. So his opponent is going to find this, and we're going to see that Chancellor's villager count is starting to catch up to Shikso's. Even though Shikso is on 2 town centers, Chanchilaru is on 1 town center with a bunch of knights. And 1 town center with a bunch of knights is better than 3 town centers with no knights. Or no military, rather. Some civs don't get knights. But look at all of these cavalry that Chanchilaru has massed. This is enough to take this fight. Easily. Let's take a look at Shikso's resource count either. It's not like Shikso's being a slouch here. I mean, he doesn't have a bunch of extra resources in the bank. He's spending his resources, but he has spent them on other things. So some conversions coming in. These scouts are attempting to come in and dive the knights. And these knights are just going to overwhelm. There's just too many of them. He could probably even... I bet these are +2. Yeah, they're +2 knights. They don't have the second attack. But this is enough to dive town centers. And these knights are going to come back and they're going to destroy this town center. Although Chanchilaru is keeping these eagles busy with his knights so that he can destroy this town center. So he's going to destroy this town center. He's going to kill the villagers there. So this is an attempt by Shikso to go 3 town center boom on this map, but it doesn't work out like it did on Columbia. This map is more aggressive than Columbia, arguably. A lot of it depends on the spawn, too. So knights are going to finish off this town center, and they're going to start working on this town center. He's got other knights back here. But I'd say Shikso's in pretty bad shape this game. Just could not afford a 3 town center boom. Let's take a look at the total villagers here. Chanchilaru is again almost tied with Shikso, 53 to 51. But the difference is he's got 32 military and Shikso only has 11. Let's take a look and see what Shikso's understanding of Chanchilaru is. He's scouting him out. It looks like Chanchilaru did finally add another town center. But he was 1 town center for a good long time. And I think Shikso maybe always assumed that his opponent was booming as he was. But that just wasn't the case. Chanchilaru invested hugely with 3 stables into knights. And he's reaping the rewards of it right now. He's systematically going through Shikso's base and destroying town centers. Destroying town centers with reckless abandon. He's not even sending everything he has forward. There we go. Can send a little bit more forward. Cookie Pirate is glad to see this map as a game too. I am as well. Summer version is probably a little less aggressive. I would agree, actually. On average, it could be the same. Because with the summer version, you kind of just wall off to the edge, and it plays out similarly to Columbia. Just with different nuances. Shikso deciding to rebuild his town center here. Looks like he's managed to fight off Chanchillery for now, but Chanchillery has regrouped and he's going to come back in with a bunch of knights. Shixo's got some knights of his own. These are Mayan knights. Shixo's just getting worn down. Let's look at his resource count. Like he's pretty much got nothing. He's making some monks. Just to get some conversions. He would love to repair this town center, but it's not really in his cards. And Shixo says, "GG, well played. Good luck next." Even though they're it's not like he's eliminating Shixo, but I think maybe it's just customary or something of habit, because Shixo's going on too. Shixo is also in the next round. So guys, don't read what Shixo said and think that there's elimination, because there isn't. He's just being polite. But very entertaining set. The nature of the maps are such, this one's a little bit more aggressive than the previous one. So Shixo not able to, or Chanchillery able to do a little bit more damage, I think, earlier on than on Columbia. It also helped that there were a lot of resources over here that the players wanted to fight over. So pretty entertaining match, I would say. Is it the best we've cast from Alchemy League? No, there was a game on China Hot Springs, which was just amazing. But this one was pretty darn good, as always. These guys are good players, and it's fantastic to have them in our league. We're very lucky. So Chanchillery with 120 kills, 70 deaths, 3 buildings razed, largest army of 36 to Shixo's 23. He collected more food, Shixo collected more wood. Shixo collected 1 stone, and Chanchillery collected none. And Shixo collected more gold. So a build that's more conducive to archers, I would think, or maybe eagles, because eagles require lots of gold. Chanchillery faster feudal, Shixo slightly faster castle, but this faster feudal may have been the difference. Map explored, similar amount, research count, similar. Shixo with more villagers, but Chanchillery with the bigger army, so it didn't really matter. As we can see here, Chanchillery slowly killing off Shixo toward the end, but they were similar toward Castle Age. Chanchillery did build a bit of an advantage in Feudal Age, though, probably because of his faster timing, more aggressive play. Alright, so guys, I really appreciate you joining today. Those are all the sets that we have. If you missed Jasuni versus Flying Mouse, I highly recommend you go back to the beginning of the video and check that out. Those were some good games as well. I really appreciate you guys joining in and supporting the league as always, and I'll do my best to bring you more league content when I'm able. So thanks guys so much for being here. Really appreciate you, and looking forward to seeing you guys again sometime soon.